How is everybody feeling, man? Top Flight TV, Mr. Top Flight Films. Today we gonna chop it up about the Versuz, No Limit Records, Verse, Cash, Money Records. Y'all know, if you are an 80s baby like me, yeah, we've been waiting on this for decades. Not this Versuz per se, but we've been waiting for this face off. And man, we gonna chop it up. Y'all hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. We are in the building. We are going to dig deep into this verses. We are going to talk about Cash Money. We're going to talk about No Limit. We're going to talk about what happened on that stage Friday. I know I'm late. I've been working. I've been on the road. I haven't had time to even watch it until today. So I sat down today and I got a chance to watch the whole thing. And I'm going to do a whole breakdown on what the highlights were, my take on it, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature. Um, Big shout out to Romia. Shout out to you. Y'all hit that like button for a player, man. Do I have any Cash Money No Limit fans in the building? I would love to talk to people that know who I'm talking about, know what I'm talking about. Um, I was a big No Limit head. I was a big Cash Money head. Okay, I don't want to say a head, but I was a fan. I purchased records from not records, tapes and CDs. I purchased tapes and CDs from these artists. See, back in the day, I hate to sound old, but back in the day, we used to buy music. You know what I'm saying? We used to go to the record store, Kemp Mill. What's another one? What's the other record stores, man? I forgot. I'm old. But anyway, we used to go out of our way to purchase records. If we didn't buy them, we would either borrow them, right? Or we would burn. Somebody would burn a CD or make a dub of a tape. You know what I'm saying? So I invested in these artists. 96, 96 is when I got hip to Master P and No Limit. The first joint that I heard, I'm pretty sure was I'm Bout It. That was either 96 or 97. All right. And when I saw Master P and I saw Bout It, I was an instant fan. The visuals he put behind the music was it was perfect for that time and it drew me in. The song was crazy. It had like a West Coast bop, but a down south bop. You know what I'm saying? See, where I'm from, the region that I'm from, we listen to everything. We listen to West Coast, we listen to East Coast, we listen to down south, we listen to go-go. I don't really do the club music, but we listen to everything. So the southern music was always on my radar. I think my first southern, real deep south artist that I listened to was Ghetto Mafia. But anyway, um, about it, man. When Master P came out, you know, he had something unique. And this is the unique thing about Master P. The music was great. The beats were great. We knew Master P couldn't rap. Okay, we didn't like him because he rapped. Master P has something unique about him, right? That it's not the lyricism, it's not his voice, all right? Because when he come on there like that wasn't really something that was easy on the ears, you know what I'm saying? But it was the energy, and it was the fact that he believed in himself. Let me get deep for a second. Master P believed in himself when we didn't believe in him. Okay? When the world didn't believe in Master P believed in himself. And last night, I gotta make this point. I'm so proud of Master P because last night he got what he deserved. You dig? Last night, that man, everything that he's worked for throughout the years, it all came to fruition last night. The cream rose to the top last night. You understand? Master P, of course, he wasn't the best rapper. You understand? Um, but the team that he put together, Mia X, Silk the Shocker. Silk the Shocker can't even rap. Uh, he can rap, but we gonna get to that. Mystical, Fiend, Mr. Servon. The list goes on and on. Cain and Abel. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can get deep, deep, deep. What's my man name that came out? How you do that day? Damn, what's my man name? I forgot his goddamn name. He had classic albums. You know what I'm saying? But the team that Master P assembled, it's like he knew what he was doing back then. And he made timeless music that in 2025, when he jumped on that stage, it was like he never missed a beat, man. So you can see who I feel is though won the verses. No Limit dominated every set. Every set. No Limit dominated the whole goddamn thing. And I'm gonna tell you why they dominated. No Limit came out there to perform. They came out there to show they shit, right? They came out there with their fatigues, no limit out, you know what I'm saying? They were on point. They didn't miss one beat. They were very prepared, man. Master P was prepared for this moment. And being an underdog, you know, they say Master P has had some financial trouble. You know what I'm saying? Master P was once one of the richest CEO rappers in the game. He was the biggest. You understand? But you know, in recent days, they say he's had some financial troubles. So I believe maybe he's not where he wants to be financially. That will make you and motivate you to put on a better show because you got a lot at stake. Cash Money Millionaires, they got a lot of money floating around. Baby, you know, they say he got some money trouble, but they say he stole a lot of money. Not my business, whatever. But Cash Money was real lax. Cash Money was like, they didn't seem like they had something to prove. I don't know if they thought that they had it in the bag, that they thought they was just going to win. You know what I'm saying? But they were sadly mistaken. Master P came out there. They came out there to the dun 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 dun. Bro, I told my barber yesterday. Me and my barber had a conversation about the verses. I hadn't seen it yet. I told my barber, I said, look, if they come out to No Limit Soldiers, it's over. And what did they do? They came out to No Limit Soldiers. And they set the tone. They set the tone. See, these verses are very tricky because you cannot say who is going to win until they get up on that stage, right? I thought Dipset was going to win. You know what I'm saying? But it's all about the energy. It's all about the organization. It's all about the song selection. You know what I'm saying? See, Master P, he went into his deep cuts, Break You Off of the Bout It soundtrack. That was not a radio record. See, Cash Money depended on radio records. Break You Off came out like 95, 96. And it wasn't a radio record. It was on I'm Bout It soundtrack. You dig? That joint rang off when it came on. And that was a big record, one of the biggest records of the night. You dig? Let me get to some of these comments, man. Kevin Dickinson said Ice Cream Man. Now, I don't understand that song selection, but by the time Ice Cream Man came on, it didn't really matter what they put on. They already had the trust of the crowd. They had already dominated. At that point, they could have played whatever they wanted to play. You understand? Romea said, Master P, a true gangster to me. He built an empire out the mud. Hey, I'm glad you said that. Somebody pointed out that No Limit was a grassroots record label. They started with nothing, okay? No Limit was self-made. Not saying that Cash Money wasn't or isn't, but Cash Money received funding. They received 30 million from Universal. Master P took $10,000 that his grandfather left him and turned it into 400 million. So there are two different levels to this thing, man. You can feel the difference in the music. Okay, you can feel Cash Money was more corporate, and No Limit, their songs were way more organic, and it really hit you a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? All right, IMS, you about to get put out of here, my man. Like, we having a productive conversation, and you want to come in here with your trolling. But I'm real proud of Master P, man. Um, at one point, man, I got emotional, dog. Like seeing that man come out there and those songs that he played, it took me back to my teenage years. Um, Master P used to tell us what he was doing. We really didn't believe, you know what I'm saying? And 20 years later, we get to see what he was talking about. You know what I'm saying? The songs that they came out to were powerful. You know what I'm saying? Now, Baby and Cash Money, they had a couple joints. That We on Fire was dope. A couple of the dance joints rang off, but for the most part, they look real shabby up there. You know what I'm saying? They were not organized. They were all over the place. They thought some of those records were going to do better than what they did. The Still Fly, the Big Timers joint, they should have came out to that. Whoa, 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 King Musabe. They should have came out to that. Like it seemed like the deep B-side cuts were hitting harder than the commercial joints. You know what I'm saying? Blake Parker said he was so successful because he did all the footwork, selling his stuff out the trunk of his car, and he didn't pay everyone because he did it all. A true hustler. Man, listen, I just explained that, man. Master P got it out the mud. No Limit is a grassroots record label. They didn't take no money from nobody that I know of. And P used to rap about that. He used to rap about, I'm not working for nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to do this myself. It may have bit him in the ass later on, but to see that art being performed last night, man, it was a big deal. Y'all hit the like button for a player, man. Who do y'all think won last night, man? I mean, it's really no debate, to be honest with you. Um, it's not about who you like better. It's about who dominated. Them niggas dominated, man. They straight up dominated. Um, I don't know what's going on here. Kia said them rap snack chips in every store. Yeah, Master P, man. See the thing about P, man, he made some bad investments, and I always said that P, he needs to keep his name off of some shit. Like everything he came out with is like he would over publicize it with his brand. Sometimes you got to put something out faceless. It just has to be faceless because P is not the most coolest motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He's cool in his own right, but them man yachties, bro, like no, man yachty, the shoes that he came out with, terrible. A lot of the stuff he came out was terrible. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, Street Graduate said I was kind of disappointed Wayne didn't show up. Let me say this. They turned on a Millie, right? And it was a sad moment for Cash Money. When they turned on that a Millie, nobody made no noise for that shit. Not even in anticipation that Wayne was gonna come out. Cash Money was no competition for No Limit. Let's be real clear about that. It was no competition. It was easy work for No Limit. You know what I'm saying? Wayne should have came out, but from what I understand, Wayne says if Turk is not dead, then he's not coming. That's what I'm hearing. That's what is being said around the internet. That Wayne is not participating in any of the shows unless Turk is able to be there. And speaking of Turk, we saw Baby. All right, we saw Baby talk about Turk. Now you could take that two ways. All right, me, I took it like that was a shout out. I don't think he was being egregious to Turk. You know what I'm saying? That was a shout out to Turk. I think they're playing with Turk. I think they think it's funny that he's running around here ranting on the internet and worrying himself to death about whether he is a hot boy or not a hot boy. I think it's a running joke within Cash Money between BG and Baby. I think that's what's going on. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he said some words about Turk, and people took it. Some people took it one way, some people took it another way. You know what I'm saying? 80 said Cash Money never had nothing for No Limit. Everybody had to see it in real life, though, man. I see. I didn't form a judgment. I knew not to sleep on No Limit. I knew that because I was a big fan. I bought the I'm Bout It. I bought uh the Ghetto Dope. I bought Cain and Abel, right? I bought C Murder's Life After Death. I bought TRU. I bought the True album. All right. Now that motherfucker right there, that True album, I still bump that True album to this day. But I bought that when it came out. You understand? Nameless Emotion said P gave everyone money. You tell me 1,096,99 was chump change. Yeah, man. It's tricky business when you giving young black men $1 million. You know, to be honest with you, a lot of us would fuck it up. You know, they say you gonna really mess your first bag up. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know the business. I know he bought everybody houses, from what I understand. Man, what am I doing? Carry the Torch said, seemed like No Limit had better mics. Nah, we not blaming no microphones. No Limit had better. Listen, No Limit, they came all with the same uniform, okay? They came with the same uniform. They came as a team. Cash Money kind of like strolled out there. The first person you saw was Manny Fresh. The second person you saw was Juvenile. They didn't come all together. You know what I'm saying? So that hurt them, man. That really messed up their allure. No Limit came out as No Limit Records. They had Serve On out there. I don't know, Serve On wasn't there. That was Fiend. Fiend was there. Mac was there. Mia X was there. Silk the Shocker. Big Boz. Okay? Listen, P used to shout all these people out in every record. That's how we know these people. We know Big Boz. We know KLC. We know Beats by the Pound. We know his brother Kevin Miller that got unalived. This is the shit that they was doing, dog. Real TRU, true shit. You know what I'm saying? I love that, man. But listen, I wanted to just get on here and tell the world, man, how proud I am of Master P, man. Everything came full circle Friday night. I'm happy that he got that W. And his music stood the test of time because he was an underdog. You know what I'm saying? Master P was an underdog. I do want to say this. Somebody said, Lil for Life, Mystical had S. I want to say this. They better thank their lucky stars that Mystical is locked up. If you know anything about No Limit, Cash Money better be very grateful that Mystical wasn't there, or it'd have been a total slaughter. I don't care if they would have brought out Lil Wayne. All right? Mystical would have shut shit down. Mystical was like a James Brown of hip hop, dog. You understand? He was like a James Brown of hip hop. He was a true performer. He was a problem. Even in the old New Orleans days, from what I understand, Mystical was a problem in New Orleans as far as that music shit. You know what I'm saying? Mia X, shout out to Mia MF and X. Yeah, shorty. Hey, look, Mia X, dog. She looked about 25 years old. She looked about 25. She was on point. All right. Hit every word, was hitting the little dance moves. It was coming from their heart, bruh. It was coming from their heart. They put their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into that shit, man. Cash Money was just real lax. You know, they get money. It's about money with them. It's about they don't really got nothing to prove. Man, Mia X came out there. She did her shit, man. You understand? No Limit is the truth. Yeah. Pooh said, hey, y'all, No Limit, Master P kicked down the door so Cash Money could run. Yeah. That's a fact, bro. See, I remember when Cash Money, when I first heard Cash Money, I was really a major fan of Master P at that point, No Limit. And then when I heard Cash Money, the Hot Boys, it was like, okay, cool. New Orleans got somebody else. But it was two different flavors to me. It wasn't the same flavor. You dig? Uncomfortable Conversation said Mia X definitely did her thing, and Mac as well. Glad to see, man. I was looking at Mac, and y'all know he just did 25, 20 years in prison. He had a life sentence, from what I understand, and I was grateful to see him walk that stage. And I kind of like, you know, I could feel what he felt. Being having a life sentence to being on that stage, man, it had to be a real powerful thing. You know what I'm saying? Larry Gold said if Mia X and Juvenile wasn't there, also Mac, if them three wasn't there, it would have been trash. I can't agree. I don't agree. Let me tell y'all something. Everybody's calling Juvenile and Mia X the MVP. I think Master P was the MVP. Master P held that shit down. You understand? Juvie carried it. Yeah, he carried it for Cash Money. Master P held that shit down, bro. Yeah, all right. Okay. He brought the energy. Like it's no limit without P. You can have No Limit without the others. I think P could have held that shit all by itself. Richard Murray said, talk about something important. This is very important for me and those like me. This is very important. You dig? Pooh said, No Limit has a big catalog. I wish P would have played Meal Ticket and had 8 Ball and MJG and Bun B. Yeah, that would have been crazy. Cocaine. What do you say? What Pimp C say? Cocaine, something, leave my bitch alone. I'd have turned it to $1 million phone. Come on, man. That meal ticket was crazy. That meal ticket was crazy. Selection killed Cash Money. No Limit bangers getting played today. Straight hits. I just said that. The Selection, I don't know what they was thinking, dog. They should have came out to BG's. Cash Money is an Army nigga, a Navy nigga. They should have came out to that. You know what I'm saying? I got the hookup. Yeah, that should have been the opening anthem. No Limit had, we No Limit Soldiers, bruh. When that shit came on, I told my barber, I said, if they come out the No Limit Soldiers, they won. Because they going to set the momentum. And they came out to that. That's how you supposed to come out, dog. Let me tell y'all something. Master P, let me tell y'all something. Why I believe it was so powerful. No Limit came out like we envisioned them back in the day. They came out as the people that they sold their image to us. They sold us an image. They were those people on that stage. Do you understand? And I love it, man. I love it. Ayo, as Luck said, I love both crews, but I would think Cash Money would win. They got more mainstream hits. I just touched on that. Listen, Friday night, those mainstream hits wasn't about shit. Nobody cared about the mainstream hits, dog. How you do that there was a big joint. Break them off something was a big joint. You understand? Nobody really cared about the mainstream shits. They didn't ring off like that. Larry Gold said they should have opened up with Make 'Em Say, I think they should have ended with Make 'Em Say a big party record at the end where everybody go. They should have went out with Make 'Em Say You dig? Still Supreme said, true to the game, best No Limit album. It's not up for debate. True to the game. Yeah. I'm not mad at that. That TRU was crazy. That had No Limit Soldiers. That had Swamp Niggas. That had I always feel like somebody's, you know what I mean? They should have brought Moby Dick out that motherfucker, man. That's what they should have did. Yeah, man. Good stuff, man. Oh, yeah, Pooh said, Fiend, I don't F around. I don't F around. I don't even have to say yeah. See, I got me in here just singing, being corny and shit. I don't give a damn. I love this shit. I love it. Yeah, hey, Tijuana Young. I'm glad you said that. That killed a lot of the energy. That crowd was terrible. What were they doing? It looks like they gathered up people from the Las Vegas Strip and said, "Hey, y'all want to come in here for free?" That's what it looked like. You dig? It looked like they said, "Hey, everybody can come in here for free," because it was the crowd was like, who, if they did it in the South, they should have did it in the South, man. Larry Gold said, "Why they even let Birdman Mike be on?" I'm glad they gave Birdman the mic, young. I'm glad he gave us that little tidbit. It wouldn't be Birdman if he didn't say something controversial. You know what I'm saying? He gave us another classic. I'ma fuck with you when I'ma fuck with you when we gonna fuck with you when we fuck with you. I like that. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna have to use that. Cain and Abel, yes. Cain and Abel should did time after time or Gangstafied. Man, if they'd came up with that Gangstafied, bro, that would have been it. Yeah, man. Listen, I had to come check in and I had to come talk to y'all about this. I'm at my son's game, at his football game, but I had to stop in here and just give y'all this, man, because I'm a fan of hip hop. I'm a fan of rap. You know what I'm saying? Big No Limit fan. And I'm glad that I was able to witness this, man. Romea said, if everyone was there with Cash Money, I wouldn't know who to choose. I was a fan of both. I think Master P would have still spanked him, yeah. I think Master P, No Limit would have still spanked him. You know what I'm saying? It was just something special about that energy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Derek Price says Slip and Slide would have put up a way better fight than Cash Money with no Lil Wayne. Who's Slip and Slide gonna bring? They gonna bring Trick Daddy. They gonna bring Trina. That's not a bad take. That's not a bad take. Kevin Dickerson said, did they play Suave House and No Limit Soldiers? That was my shit. That was on 8 Ball and MJG's album. Suave House, No Limit Soldiers. That beat was crazy. Suave House, No Limit Soldiers. Larry Gold said they should have did Wobble. Yeah. Oh, you know my man came out? My man came out with that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They won. No, he came out with that shit, bro. Yeah. Oh yeah, he tore that up. He tore that up. Yeah. Chopper style. They should have let him do that last part. You know what I'm saying? They was rushing everybody out of there. They should have let him hit that last part. You dig? But nah, I had fun on this stream. I know I sound crazy. Whatever, I don't care. Shout out to y'all. I'll be back hopefully this week. I got a busy week. Shit is real hectic. Shooting a lot of videos. A lot of shit going on. Yeah, I'm out of here. Peace. Y'all be good.